Sir, do you need help? Those were the words that came out of 12-year-old Marcus's mouth as he stood on the side of the road, staring at a stranded luxury car with a flat tire. He was small, skinny, and wearing clothes that had clearly seen better days. But in that moment, he wasn't thinking about himself. He was thinking about the older man stuck on the highway. What Marcus didn't know was that the man sitting in that shiny car was a millionaire. And what happened after that flat tire? It would change Marcus's life forever. Marcus grew up in a tough neighborhood. His mom worked 2 jobs just to keep food on the table, and his dad hadn't been around for years. Most days, Marcus went to school, came home, and helped his mom take care of his little sister. Money was always tight. Sometimes there wasn't enough for lunch. Sometimes the lights got shut off. But Marcus never complained. He was the kind of kid who found joy in small things, a game of basketball with his friends, reading books from the library, or sketching drawings on old scraps of paper. And most importantly, he believed in kindness. His mom always told him, "We don't have much, but we can always give love. We can always give help." That lesson stuck one hot summer afternoon. Marcus was walking home from the library with a backpack full of borrowed books. As he crossed the main road, he noticed a shiny black Mercedes pulled over to the side. The hood was popped open, and a man in a crisp white shirt stood nearby, looking frustrated. Marcus hesitated. He was just a kid. What could he possibly do? But then he remembered his mom's words. So he walked up and asked, "Sir, do you need help?" The man looked up, surprised. He was in his 50s, well-dressed, with an expensive watch on his wrist. Clearly not the kind of person who was used to being approached by kids from Marcus's side of town. The man sighed. "Flat tire. My phone's dead, and I was supposed to be at a meeting 30 minutes ago. Do you know anything about changing tires?" Marcus grinned. "Yes, sir. My uncle taught me." Without hesitation, Marcus dropped his backpack and got to work. The man watched in disbelief as this skinny kid loosened the bolts, jacked up the car, and swapped the tire like he'd done it 100 times before. Sweat dripped down Marcus's forehead, but he didn't complain. He just kept working until the job was done. Finally, the car was back on its wheels. Marcus wiped his hands on his shirt and smiled. "There you go, sir. Good as new." The man blinked. "You did all that by yourself?" "Yes, sir," Marcus said proudly. "My uncle always said a man should know how to fix a flat." The millionaire chuckled. "Well, you certainly saved me today. How much do I owe you?" Marcus shook his head. "Nothing, sir. Just glad I could help." The man raised an eyebrow. "Nothing? You don't want money?" "No, sir," Marcus said again. "My mom says kindness doesn't need payment." The man was stunned. In his world, nothing came for free. Yet here was this boy, sweaty and dirty, turning down money with a smile. "What's your name, son?" the man asked. "Marcus." "Well, Marcus, you may not want payment, but I want to do something for you. Where do you live?" Marcus hesitated. He didn't usually tell strangers where he lived. But something about this man felt genuine. So, he gave him his street and house number. The man nodded. "All right, Marcus. Thank you again. You'll be hearing from me." Marcus didn't think much of it. He just grabbed his backpack, waved goodbye, and headed home. A week later, there was a knock on Marcus's front door. His mom answered, and standing there was the same man from the roadside, only this time he wasn't stranded. He was holding a briefcase. "Good evening," he said politely. "Is Marcus home?" Marcus's mom called him over, looking confused. "Marcus, do you know this gentleman?" "Yes, Mom. I helped him with his car." The man smiled warmly. "That's right. Your son saved me when I was in a bind. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I'd like to talk to you both." They invited him inside. Sitting at their worn-out kitchen table, Mr. Anderson opened his briefcase. Inside were papers, brochures, and envelopes. "I run a large company in the city," he explained. "But more importantly, I believe in rewarding good character. Your son showed me honesty, kindness, and skill. That's rare these days. So, I want to invest in his future." Marcus's mom frowned. "What do you mean, invest?" Mr. Anderson slid a folder across the table. Inside was a scholarship offer for a prestigious private school. Full tuition, books, uniforms, everything covered. "I've already spoken to the school's board," Mr. Anderson said. "Marcus has excellent grades, and I believe he deserves better opportunities than what this neighborhood can give him. This scholarship will open doors to college, to connections, to a brighter future." Marcus's mom's eyes filled with tears. This is too much. We could never repay you." Mr. Anderson shook his head. "You don't need to repay me. Marcus already did that, with his kindness. I just want to make sure it doesn't go unnoticed." Within months, Marcus was attending his new school. It was tough at first. He was surrounded by kids from wealthy families who didn't understand his background. But Marcus didn't let that stop him. He worked hard, studied late, and used every opportunity to learn. Mr. Anderson became his mentor. He introduced Marcus to people who guided him, encouraged him, and believed in him. Years later, Marcus graduated at the top of his class. With Mr. Anderson's recommendation, he earned a full ride to college. And after college, he started his own business, determined to give back to kids who came from neighborhoods like his. One day, many years later, Marcus found himself driving down a familiar road. And there, by coincidence, he saw another car pulled over with a flat tire. This time, Marcus was the one in the expensive car. But without hesitation, he pulled over, rolled up his sleeves, and helped a stranger change their tire. When the person tried to offer him money, Marcus just smiled and said the same words he had once told Mr. Anderson: "My mom says kindness doesn't need payment." So, what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Kindness has power. Marcus could have walked past that stranded car. He could have thought, "Not my problem." But he didn't. He chose to help. And that small act of kindness turned into the opportunity of a lifetime. We live in a world where people often expect something in return. But sometimes, the most powerful moments come when you give without expecting anything back. Marcus's story is proof that no act of kindness is too small. You never know who you're helping, or how that moment might come back to change your life forever. And that's how a simple act of kindness completely changed Marcus's life. It just goes to show, you never know how far a good heart can take you. What do you think? Would you have stopped to help that day? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more inspiring stories, and ring the notification bell so you never miss the next one. Until next time, stay kind, stay strong, and remember, even the smallest act of kindness can change the world.